They were called witches.
Shapeshifters, dark conjurers of forbidden power, but to their people they were more than myth. They were the balance keepers, the ones who spoke to the wind, the bones, the stars. Colonizers feared them, hunted them, but their spirits never vanished. From the skinwalkers of the desert to masked healers who whispered to the storm. These aren't legends, they're warnings. This is the hidden truth of native mysticism, buried by fear, kept alive in silence. And once you open the door, the spirits remember. Long before Europeans set foot on this continent, indigenous nations had rich spiritual systems that fused the natural and supernatural. Unlike Western ideas of religion, native mysticism isn't about gods in the sky. It's about harmony with nature, the ancestors, and the forces that govern the cosmos. In Lakota traditions, the Wakantanka, the Great Mystery, is not a being, but a sacred force behind all life. Among the Navajo, the Diné, the world is a sacred web held together by Hojo, beauty, balance, and order. And yet within these worldviews are darker currents. Mystics were both healers and sometimes feared manipulators of hidden power. One of the most terrifying legends comes from the Navajo people, the story of the skinwalker. In Navajo, they are called Yi-Naudlushi, he who walks on all fours. These are witches who can transform into animals. But they are not born evil. They become that way by committing an unthinkable act, killing a family member. According to oral traditions, skinwalkers can run faster than a car, mimic voices, and read minds. They're said to haunt places like Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, where sightings, mutilations, and supernatural events have been reported since the 1970s. But to the Navajo, these stories aren't ghost tales, they are warnings. Skinwalkers represent imbalance. They are what happens when power is used for domination, not healing. Not all who walk the spirit road are feared. Many are revered. Medicine people, sometimes called shamans, are found across indigenous cultures. In 1871, the Cheyenne healer Porcupine survived the Sand Creek Massacre. He later led sun dances and preserved tribal knowledge during forced assimilation. In Iroquois traditions, the False-Face Society used carved masks to drive out sickness. These weren't mere costumes. They believed the masks were living beings, given power through ritual. But with colonization came suppression. In 1883, the US government passed the Code of Indian Offenses, banning traditional healing and religious practices. Medicine men risked prison just for practicing their craft. Yet they persisted in forests, in caves, and in whispers. It wasn't just Salem that feared witches. In 1675, during King Philip's War, colonial settlers accused Wampanoag and Nipmuc medicine people of witchcraft, claiming they caused storms and disease. In 1692, at the height of the Salem witch trials, colonists believed native spirits and women were behind the devil's work. In the Spanish Southwest, the Inquisition labeled Pueblo shamans as brujos, sorcerers, and burned them at the stake. In 1706, a Piscataway woman named Indian Sarah was executed in Virginia for allegedly using witchcraft to cause a white child's death. These weren't just superstitions, they were weapons used to erase spiritual authority and justify genocide. Native mysticism isn't just in people, it lives in the land. Chaco Canyon in New Mexico was more than a city. It was a ceremonial center aligned with the stars. The Hopi say the spirits still walk there. The Cherokee revered the Smoky Mountains as the gateway between this world and the next. At Cahokia, near present-day St. Louis, massive earth mounds served both political and spiritual purposes. And at Serpent Mound in Ohio, the ancient Adena culture built a 1,300-foot effigy believed to mark solstices, eclipses, and possibly otherworldly contact. To indigenous people, the land is a text, a sacred one desecrated by mining, construction, and spiritual ignorance. In the late 1800s, mysticism sparked rebellion. The ghost dance, taught by the Paiute prophet Wovoka in 1889, promised to bring back the ancestors and remove the white man from the land. It terrified U.S. authorities. They responded with violence, culminating in the massacre at Wounded Knee in 1890, where over 250 Lakota were killed. But the dance wasn't witchcraft, it was hope. In 1978, the American Indian Religious Freedom Act finally legalized native spirituality in the U.S. Today, a new generation is reclaiming their sacred practices, ceremonies, medicine, and yes, even the forbidden knowledge. Witchcraft, mysticism. These words still carry fear, suspicion. But in Native America, they mean something more. They are memory, resistance, survival. From the shadowy skinwalkers of the desert to the masked healers of the Northeast, from sacred stones to whispered chants, the spirit world has never left. It has only adapted. And perhaps it still waits for those who listen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone curious about the deeper truths of America's past. Until next time, stay curious.